Hey y'all, how are y'all today? This is Travis. Today we've got a special project we're going to work on. Let's go see what we're going to do with it. Hi, I'm Travis.
And I'm Neil.
Today we're going to take this Club Car golf cart and we're going to put a set of EPOCH Lithium-ion batteries in it. Neither one of us have done this type of install on this, so it's going to be just like you doing it at home. First time for all of us. First thing we need to do is remove the seat. Very easy to do. Just lift it up, take it out of the way. Sometimes just set them out of the way for the time being. Next, we got to take the batteries out. We're going to take the hold down straps off, and then all of the batteries out. And once all the cables are removed and the batteries are removed, we'll only use the original 2 cables that run back to the motor itself. All the rest will be replaced. The EPOCH batteries we're going to put in here weigh about 37 pounds a piece. As with these batteries here, probably weigh close to 50 a piece, maybe a little more. We're going to be lightening the load quite a bit.
Looks like we're ready to get our strap to remove the batteries.
All right, well, let's go do that.
Be back with you shortly.
So we went and got the battery kit. This particular one's going to be a 2 battery. And here, each of these are 48 volt batteries. It comes with a charger that's installed. You get an AC port to replace your other plug. It comes with a power distribution block. The gauge, the meter gauge, to tell you how much power you got. It comes with a 48 to 12 volt converter for adding things like radios and lights. It comes with a Bluetooth modulator, so you can actually look on your phone with an app and tell your status of your battery charge. It comes with a cable set. They send you a battery pull tool or pulling tool, a EPOCH quick start guide, and then you got your connection wiring diagram connections here. All right, so next we're going to come over and we're going to pull the batteries, the old batteries out of the cart. How many of them you want to carry around all day long?
Not too many.
What do you think that weighs? You think it weighs at least 50?
I'd say 50 to 60 pounds, yes. You can tell some of the batteries are bulging out on the side. Which
See how this battery has a side here is bulging? That's the first sign of when your batteries are going bad.
Yeah, we had checked the voltage on these and they were all bad, and after charging them up, they were not holding charge. So
Or time to recharge them anyway, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's true. So it was time to replace, so we thought we'd went with the EPOCH batteries.
Yeah. Well, the average set would cost you over $1,000 for lead acid.
Yep.
The EPOCHs weren't a whole lot more than that. And you get several advantages. One advantage is that, of course, they don't have lead acid in them, so it doesn't mess up your concrete and everything. You don't have to worry about refilling them all the time. I have a 10-year warranty, which sounds excellent. Okay, so we've got them all out.
We're going to clean it up now.
Right here, Neil is we decided to just hose this thing down, get the acid that's in here out, and kind of clean it good. It's got really good drainage holes all underneath it, so just gonna give it a good wash down. So we come up with a piece of 3/4 inch ABS plastic. We've cut it to fit and slide down in the gap, and so we're going to mount these 3 items on it. let's see how it fits. I'll let you stick it in there. This is our board that we made.
Get all the cords out of the way because it has slide down in their channel.
And we've kind of cut it and designed it to fit right in that pocket right there.
Yep.
Just like that. Nice snug fit. That looks really good.
Yep, sure does. Yep, really, really good.
It does, doesn't it? Looks almost like it was born there, and that's what we're after.
Yeah.
That way it can be easily, it'll stay in place there, mounts everything well, and it can easily be taken out if it needs to be serviced or if anything needs to be done. I think that really looks good. It looks real good, don't it?
Sure does.
Those will lay down nicely. We'll wire tie those down out of the way. Clean all this up and everything when we're done.
Bolt our bus bar.
Yeah, we got to bolt our power bar down. Strip. Get it down there. And we're going to mount it probably somewhere in that neighborhood. Like that. And that way we can bring our positive around and get it on in there for our goes to the cart, and our negative in there to the cart, and still have enough length. Let's see, our longest battery is from the cart is here, and so that'll give us this one, and we drop off to the side and still have enough length to get it nicely in place. So that looks good right there. So we need to mount that down. My intention of this is just using a couple of self-tappers. The frame rail of this cart runs right down through here, right down the center. There's a bolt right there that's in it. There's another bolt here that's in it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to probably run 2 bolts right here and here. 2 screws, self-tapping screws in there. And screw it down. Now, before we go any further, we've got to deal with the power outlet. And it looks like this. It's actually an AC port. Now what we're going to do with that is it's going to go in and actually replace the original factory plug-in port. And then all you do is stick a drop cord into it.
Right. We're going to have to remove one of the batteries. So.
Yeah, at least one of them. This one on this side, I'm sure.
So I'll take that one
out. Come out. All 37 pounds of it. Can you get it with the cameras in the way?
Yeah, I can get it. I can get it. Here's their handy strap. Make sure it's secure. Up and out. No problem.
Screws is holding this outlet in. They're behind this piece of trim. Screws it to the inner side bucket. That's the reason why it don't move when you get this, because it's actually attached to the bucket in here from this side. I know that underneath this floor mat there's some screws that holds that piece of trim on. Now whether or not it'll come off from that point of view, or if we're going to have to take the bucket, if we're going to have to take the body and pick up a little bit on it to get it come out from it there. I'm hoping they designed it where you can access it from there. We should be able to kind of get that rubber to come up from inside of there. It always shrinks somewhat, but it will rip, so you don't pull it too hard, especially when they get old. Just get the thing up. There it goes. Okay. Alright. There's that up. Now, take it at the top, pull it out from under the cup holders, like I got mine. There you go. And then lift it off over the plugs, or the pedals, not the plugs. There we go. Get that out of our way. All right, your driver is it over there with Phillips tip in it?
Yes.
Leave Phillips in it. All right. Need to go through all these 3 little bolts right here. I think they put those more accessible for somebody who had to work on this thing. I thought it was. And yesterday we took this. So this is the power plug that went down in the hole, and we replaced it with the one that came with the kit. Naturally, we get out of the way there, and so this really has nothing to do with our install at all. And rather than butcher it or cut it or anything, if anybody wanted to put this cart back to factory, we're going to leave that in place, and we'll probably just take it and tuck it down between the batteries, something like that, out of the way. We're going to leave it in place that way. If somebody wanted to go back to original setup, they could do it very easily. Just take by removing our stuff and putting that back in its place and be done with it. Neil, we may want to, the 3 screws that come out of here, we may want to run them back in that bracket and just tighten them up. The bracket that's down in here.
Okay.
And just tighten them up, just so that if you ever wanted to put that back or somebody wanted to, the screws would be there also. And we wouldn't hunt screws for it.
Hopefully they designed it to fit back in there flush.
With the new one?
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. And we'll have to get it where we can get the screws in it. Looks like at this point we might possibly get 1 there and 2 here on each side. I think it's a 3-way mount on it.
Yeah, it had 3 screws they shipped with it.
Because it's not bedding down totally. It's close though. It's not bedding down totally. But if I get my heat gun and heat the back side of this up, I think we push it in there and make it look like it was born there. Because I think it'll go down and sit nice and flat. This little egg right here on the side, you see this?
Yeah.
On each side, it's a little egged. And I think that if we heat it up, that'll go right down in there. We'll heat this ABS, not this. And when we push this down there, it'll push it out wide enough to set it down and sit nice and flush. So let me go get that. I'll be right back. Now, you could just take and snap some screws and then make it work. The problem is Neil and I are perfectionists, and our goal is to make this look as factory as possible, and not like something somebody just slammed in here. So everything we do, we're going to go the little extra effort to make it look better. Looks fairly factory, doesn't it? Does to me. What do you think now? Happy with that?
Oh yeah, very happy, very happy, very good.
We could have taken those screws and tossed them and been just as well off. But like I said, you know, if we ever want to take and pull this system out and put it in a different cart, say a different or a newer cart or whatever, have the option to do that. Really, the only damage we've done at all is putting the gauge in. And I think you're not seated right there on your corner. I think your pleats are not placed. So that's kind of sticking out from the body right here. There you go. And that goes down in there like that. There you go. But really, the only thing we'd have to do would be to put the you know, to buy that little panel that goes across here, and you know, where the gauge comes out of, for it to go back to factory, total factory. Like I always say, a nice factory look. You know, it look like it's kind of looks like it's born there. The wire right here, we usually just fitted it right up through there, and it's coming out right down there. And I've kind of tucked it already, or Neil has. He's tucked it down in that little trough. And we're going to go with this empty one right here. We're going to put it down this trough right here to go to the front. Just like that. And we got plenty to go over to our location over here. So now we're going to get ready to mount that gauge. And
clip here and do it offside if you wanted to.
You can unlock it and take it off and get it off there. Got 2 clips, one on each side, looks like. It's right here.
Yeah. Oh, those okay.
No, you don't pull them. You squeeze them.
Squeeze them.
Squeeze these two in and pull the bottom half loose.
Yeah,
You get it out of there.
it will. It's coming.
Those Molex plugs are pretty tight sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
we've mounted.
As you can see, to take this off, there's 3 screws here, here, and a small one here. It just kind of goes in, kind of pushes up and snaps into place. This little cleat right here has to go behind here, and it snaps into place there. Now we looked at several places here. We looked at here, but it's real hard to see that from the steering wheel. And over on this side, it's clear. You can see this easy from the steering wheel, but it gets in the way of your label. And if you ever wanted to mount some kind of radio in it, you'd use up that space. So we chose to go here, which you can somewhat see from the steering wheel. Of course, you don't look at your gauge all the time. It's not like a speedometer. You just glance at it every now and then. So this is where we're going to go. We're going to go right in this area here. And so we're going to drill this hole in there. Now, we want to probably stay kind of
in the middle on the other side.
About there, just above. There's a bend in this plastic right here. If you can see it or not, we want to stay just above that, so we're not hanging over it. And then about halfway between the two, I would say, wouldn't you? Does that look about right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just gonna bear a hole there.
Mm-hmm. Hand it up a little bit.
Get that off, or need a knife on it?
There you go.
Knife out of my pocket here. Get it out of my pocket.
By taking the floor mat out of it earlier, we're able to run these wires underneath in these channels, and that cleans up, gives great accessibility up to it, plus it makes it factory look when you're installing your wiring.
Okay, now our gauge is going to stay right in there. I've moved the camera to give you a little better view of what we're working on now. We're going to put the body bolts back in that we took out, and then we're going to put the lower 3 bolts in at the bottom here. We'll put the floor mat back in and then secure the 2 side pieces, which goes over the top of the floor mat. One little pro tip for you: if you're ever putting screws back in plastic, if you'll put the screw in the hole and turn it backwards until it clicks, and then that will it'll fall back in its original hole. Just a little bit shifted. There it is, right there.
And hunting my third one. Do you have the other one?
I have two of mine. Look in that trough right there where we put the wire. See it right there?
Yes, yes. Blend it in.
Yeah. But when you turn the screw backwards and get it started in there, it keeps it from cutting new threads. And you know as well as I do, if you cut many new threads in plastic, it ends up ripping out your hole. Let me have your ratchet while you're doing that. No, I've lost a screw. Where's my screw? Oh, I remember it dropped down in here. Never mind.
Yes, yes, it did.
Yes,
that's true.
Yes. I remember it had dropped down in there. These Precedent golf carts are really good carts. I pretty much all I have these days are club cars. DS's ride really good. The DS is the version before this. And they still made it up until probably I think maybe 14 or 16, maybe it might have been a little more than that. But DS really rides good. But these little Presidents are so versatile because you can do so much to them. And one of the big advantages is where the batteries sit is actually a bucket instead of the frame. On the other ones, it just kind of sits in your open space. So, especially with this setup right here, that whole area over there is going to be a good area for storage or anything like that. You know, we use this side over here for all of our equipment. And he's also got the option, he can pop 2 more batteries in if you want to. If you want to extend his range even further. I don't think he'll ever do that. Probably for as much as this cart gets used, 1 battery would probably been okay. But that was a little bit of a risk. 2 batteries, I think, is going to be a good safe bet.
Yep, I do too.
Next, we need to put our floor mat back in. Just kind of bow it. There you go, just like that. Bring it this way. We'll go over the top of the pedals. And get it back down the front of the dash. The cup holders. And then under the edge of our trim on the side here.
Going under here first.
Down, sit here good. Yeah, it'll drop down under there once you get it into your place. All right, should drop down there. My side did. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to have. There we go. Get my finger back in there. Then put your corner underneath your edge here of your side, and your snap on your outside should snap right back in place. Okay.
Now this one,
it doesn't go way in. That mat shrinks for some reason. They all do. I don't know why. You think they'd make them a little bigger or something? Every one of them shrinks in that far. I don't guess it's bothered me enough to buy it anyway. On my carts anyway. I knew you might want to buy it again, but I think it's going to be fine for me.
Yeah, no. I think it'd work fine.
Probably never noticed it till now anyway.
That's correct.
This panel here, almost tempted to put a couple notches right down here. Because we got all this wire here and here that goes with that charger. I guess we could roll it up and put it right down in there. If we put a notch in, we could probably put it and fit it behind this wall back in here.
Yeah, it don't have to be much of a notch, just the size to get it through there, so get the plug through there.
2 pieces, yeah.
Get the plug there, and then
And this plug looks like it would probably, might have to plug it up and just let it lay there and just come on the inside and have the rest of this one behind here. But that'd look better. And then see, we have this one that's also got a lot of wires in it that we could probably fit back there too, maybe.
Yeah, because it's got the addition on here.
It's got that, and it's only going to that block right there, see?
Oh, yeah.
It's just going to this block. So,
yeah, they give it so you could always, you could do that if you wanted to.
well, we get where you can go way down. I mean, get different carts.
Yeah,
But if we come down here and take all this bulk behind this wall here, and then just come out with that lead out behind it, I think that would be a cleaner look. We still have the saw out, don't we? Yeah.
The which one?
The saw, we'd have to have it.
Oh, yeah, we've got the saw there.
So let's do that. So here again, that's another example there of how handy that turns out. We can just, oh, you're up here. I'm looking the other direction. We can pull the whole module up just like that with everything that we're working on. What I've done is I put a notch here, a notch there. And we're going to run this wire here down like this and behind the wall. Can't tell which way that thing goes. Dang. It welds they got on that thing. We're going to take this and run it behind the wall like that. And we're going to take that piece there, and it'll be behind the wall and come back out. So we need to probably go ahead and get the covers off of these here. Cover off of that. Phillips right here, can I get it?
Maybe a little small, but a bit.
It completely takes the bar loose inside. Which makes it a little bit difficult to put back in place on. Seem awful loose. They are loose. Huh. It's kind of strange, isn't it? Under here, these are real loose, as I just noticed just now. Somebody grab a pair of pliers and tighten those or not, do you?
Yeah.
Yep. No, adjustable ring. We got adjustable rings laying in my box right here. Yeah.
Kind of warm.
Already preheated, huh?
Yep.
Sitting out there in the sunshine. So if you're doing this one, you might want to check those mounts right there. Make sure they're good and snugged up. I'm gonna put this back temporarily until we get ready to cover our.
Yeah, I got one.
Cover all of our things back up. Then we'll take them back out at that point after all our wiring's done and everything's tested. That out of the way. Here again, these are just as loose as they can be also. So let's lock those down. I'm not putting tremendous pressure on because I don't know what they can stand. That. Another board here. All right, let's take those two clear covers and put them somewhere out of the way where they won't let nothing happen to them. Or you can find them now.
In the box right here with cables.
All right. So we know that the power charging cord here has to go to these units, and we have chosen to put hot over here and negative here and positive over here, because our negative wire, factory wire, is shorter than the positive wire that comes from the factory. So what we're going to do then is, because the way we're setting this up, we'll go ahead and put these two on there. This one and this one. So we said we're going to do negative on this side and positive on that side. Okay, so what we've done here is our plug from our 12-volt converter here. I've taken the positive and negative, which is the yellow and the black, and put them to our bar here. It has a switch sensor, which we haven't installed yet, that'll go up to the front switch. And then what we've done is the two outputs that comes off of it, this is where it makes 12 volts out of 48. And these two white lines that are tied into it are for the gauge up front that we put in earlier. And the reason why we've done that is because we don't want that gauge to stay hot all the time. I only want it on when the key's on. The key will turn this on and off. And so it'll cut everything on and off. Later, he can tie his headlights into this or his radio into this. And every time he turns the key off, it'll turn all the accessories off on this unit. You don't want to buy a 12-volt converter that doesn't have a key wire on it. If you get one that doesn't have key wire and you tie it in, it's going to stay, the 12-volt converter is going to stay live the whole time, which means it's going to drain your battery. So you always want one that has a key wire that can turn it off and on. Now, the FM modulator, I've got it, the hot and positive and negative here from the FM modulator, running positive and negative on the bar. Okay, and then it has another hookup here that will go to the battery, the first battery, and so that's how it will lead and figure out when it needs to be charged or how much of a charge it has lost.
And the two batteries connect together, so that will give us a reading on both batteries.
Yeah, it has a data link that goes between them that ties them together as far as their thinking goes.
Correct. So I can be in Atlanta, Georgia, and see if these batteries need to be charged or not, or even while you're riding around on it. You could use your phone if you want to, but it's a good add-on there option.
I haven't looked at the app, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if the app has an option where you can actually turn the batteries on and off too from mobile. I don't know. The batteries each have a power button on top of them, and I don't know if you can actually disable them or turn them off and on. It'd be great if you could disable them, because if you left and forgot and you could disable them, somebody jump in your cart and try to steal it, they'll think it's got dead batteries. If you could disable them. So I don't know. They'll have to wait till we get it hooked up to find that out. Here again, like you guys, we're learning as we go. I just know I've done a lot of research on these batteries, and they seem to be a really good brand. There's another brand out there that's more commercial, and they're built just like them. And of course, the other brand is a lot more expensive than these are. And I would say they come off the same assembly line, other than the color and the plastic. They just dye the plastic different color. And there's other people that are online also that have taken them apart side by side, taken one of each one of them apart, and all the components and everything look exactly the same. All right, so what we've done here is we've cleaned it up. As you can see, we pulled the wires together and wire tied everything up. We've gone ahead and wired in, taking our switch to the front up there. I've already taken the battery supply going to the cart itself here, the negative to here. I put these negative lines on here for the battery cables, which we have not attached yet, and also here. We've just cleaned some of this up a little bit and got it laying in there out of the way for the time being. We're going to put a light kit on this cart too at another date. So that'll be some of this extra wire down here we use for that, for the voltage for that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hook up all the cabling for the batteries. This is our Wi-Fi. And so I'm going to take it and we're going to run it to this end battery right here. Then we're going to take another cable from the back and we're going to put between these two.
These seem to be identical cables, same.
Yeah, they're both all the same.
Mm-hmm. Slide it.
Turn the tail that way.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Okay, right there. It's hard to see them little bitty slots.
We want to run it in.
I'll wire tie all this up. Now there's your end of the line. Put it on the very last one. That lets you know that that's the last battery in the line. Do not try to read anything else. If you were to add another battery, you'd want to move that over to the next battery.
All right.
Supposedly we have all the connections made except for the final at the dash for the switch. They're pretty good. Plug this back in. Plug that Molex down there back in. It'll only go one way.
There we go. Secure it again. Both sides.
We have this orange wire coming up in this route here. It comes from the back, and it needs to go to one of the key terminals, which will turn on a 12-volt power. So before we do that, we want to go ahead and power up both our batteries. Push button on top. I don't think you hold on to it. I think you just push it down and let it do its thing. It'll take a few minutes for them to balance.
Lighter green there now, so balance.
Are they still blinking or are they balanced?
They're balanced. They're both solid greens.
So to be, because like we said earlier, we pre-charged this pack before we even started fooling with it at all. All right, so that should have us both balanced. So we've got the cart in the on position. Let's see if it lights up my gauge. There's my gauge. All right, turn it off. Gauge still lit up. Let me go to the other side of that key. On that side of the gauge, turn the key on. And nothing happens. There it comes up there.
Delayed reaction.
It's more like it. I guess it takes just a moment for it to turn that module on back there. Off. Goes away.
Off. Yep.
On. It does take just
7 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, just a little bit of a delay. Okay, so we know that by doing that, we know that the blue wire is the one that we want attached to. So if I have a spade, I can just cut that off and put them both in it and put it right back on. Let me go to the truck and see what I got. And I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, so I went to the truck and got a connector. I'm taking the connector, I don't know if you can see that or not, but right here, I cut that off, put them two in there together and plug them right back on. So that gets us our key function working. And now we're going to tuck these, we'll tuck all this extra spare wire. We're going to leave it extra in case he needs it for something else one day. So I'm going to gauge we put in a moment ago with it back installed in the dash. So that's a nice clean look too. Our power block down here, we've got everything secured to it nicely and everything. Now I need to take and put our covers on there, our protective covers. Let me see if I can find those. Yes, I'm powering back up. Anytime you do any service on this thing or anything, you always want to make sure you power those batteries down. They're so much more powerful. You know, it's not like arcing out one of the original batteries. This is, each one of these is 48 volts a piece. So you definitely want to arc those out.
We had two runners on this.
Okay, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and share. I could use all the help I can get, and I'll try to put out some more. I appreciate all you do watching these and your comments and all, your positive attitudes. I love it all. Thanks, guys.